How do you deal with coaches or gyms who challenge their scores? Like when you do the ACU score stuff, like how do
Mhm.
you deal with that? I can only
Um,
imagine that people get real aggressive and I mean, they're
mhm.
competitive, right? Like,
Yeah, I would say like I approach it in a way where like I understand that everybody's really passionate about the routine, but
mhm.
also like I believe that we're not fighting score, we're discussing scores. Like there's it's it's an opinion based like sports for
Mhm.
some category, right? So like difficulty is not like what is difficult, but like execution, like somebody like may like something better than another.
Yeah,
And
it's
so
very subjective.
some of it is really subjective, yeah. But also like we watch so much cheerleading. Like I think that's what people forget is that like sometimes I'll sit through 30 hours of cheerleading 600 team in like a weekend. So like
Wow.
I consume a lot of cheerleading and then I do 30 weekend a year. Like I'm like my brain is just I see cheerleading and it's like almost slow for me because I've seen so much, you know? So, like my approach for AccuScore is just let's have a conversation. It's education based. It's let's discuss it. Like I take you where you are. If you want to know what you need to do better, let's have a conversation about it. Like I'm all here to like help and support and so on. There's less and less people being heated
Mhm.
at AccuScore. I find that a lot of people are like heated before, but then like having a conversation face to face, it's almost like you know those Instagram like a Facebook warrior that are like
Yeah.
having a conversation, but then they wouldn't have that conversation face to face with anyone. That's what I
Mhm.
feel sometimes is like you come and see me and I'm like actively listening to you and trying to figure out what you're saying. I'm like, okay, you had this, you had that, like okay, great, like am I understanding this? And I'm like I feel like my role is like I'm the McDonald order person. Like I'm here to listen to you and make sure I have your order right, right? So you're telling me stuff and I'm like, yeah, 2 cheeseburger, okay, like yeah, okay, understood. Like I'm just like making a point of like really listening. I'm like, I'm taking your order, I'm making sure I understand what you're saying. And then when you're done, I'm like, are you done? Yeah, great, okay. And then I'm like, okay, now let's talk about it so that I understand every single point you've told me and I'm
Right, you
able
don't wanna miss anything either. Yeah.
exactly. So a lot of active listening before jumping into anything else. And like sometimes people just want to be able to be like, I know we can't challenge this, but and then they just want to open their bag and you're like, you know what? Like, and sometimes they're bringing good point. I'm like, you know what? Let me write this down and we'll have a conversation on this later. But like, they're
Yeah.
bringing good points, and I'm like, we should address that. That's true, you know?
Yeah.